Hey there everyone, I just thought maybe some people would enjoy seeing the prep work that it takes to have a group of people over. So I'm preparing here for 18 people to come over the next day. We are having a large Mennonite type meal, at least it seems Mennonite to me. We're having ham, sweet and sour sausage, mashed potatoes, carrots, corn. This is all from scratch, a home-cooked homemade meal. And to finish it off, we're having pie. So this video, you're gonna see me making all of this. That was the ham. It was frozen and I've just prepared it, gotten it ready in that pan, so it's ready to go right into the oven tomorrow. For sweet and sour sausage, the sausage needs to be pre-baked because the liquid that comes out of the sausage, you don't want that mixed with your sweet and sour sauce, otherwise your sauce will be a lot runnier and just it's not the consistency that you want. So I'm just getting the sausage ready here. We have, again, as I said, this is homemade, so this is our own homemade sausage that we've made. We have used the Easy Peel casings the last couple of years and we are absolutely loving them. So anyways, I'm just running some hot water over these sticks of sausage so that they peel nicer. There was still some ice stuck to them. I'm just getting this all ready in my casserole dish so I can pre-bake it before I add the sauce. And of course, when working with food, it's always a good idea to have good hand washing practices, surface washing practices. So that's what I'm going to do here. I've worked with meat, so I'm going to make sure that my sink and everything that I've touched is well washed. Now that's all done, my hands are clean, so I'm going to get this sausage into the oven. On to the potatoes. It's a family gathering tomorrow and I want to be able to spend as much time with my family as possible. So I'm going to do as much of this prep work today as possible. So this means getting these potatoes peeled, cut up and ready so that tomorrow all that has to happen is that they get put in a pot and set to cook. I find peeling into my compost pail very convenient. It's less to clean up afterwards. It's already going right where it's going to end up. And this peeler, I love this peeler. I am not sponsored, but this is a Rada peeler and it's got that little knife right on the end. This is for cutting out your eyes and little blemishes, whatever you want to take off of your potatoes. So there we go, that's compost pail number 1. It's getting very full and it'll just get fuller. But I'm going to give these potatoes all a rinse and then get them cut up into a bowl and then soaking in nice cold water so that they don't turn brown and they will go into the fridge. I won't be including any recipes in the description box in this video because this is just for those who are curious because they never do it, or for those who are just maybe looking for new ideas, or I don't know, just for whatever reason come to this channel for this video just to see what it's like to prep food for 18 people. Of course, if you ask me for a recipe, I'll do my best to get it to you. So there we go, those are done. On to the carrots. Wipe my space again and clean up anything I don't need anymore. We've also had a birthday party the night before, so in a little bit you will see the sink fill up with all the mess that was still left, that was still getting cleaned up and hadn't fit into the dishwasher for the load that it's currently running on. These are homegrown carrots that have been sitting in winter storage in our garage, and I'm just going to get them peeled up and ready so that I can cut them and have them all prepped and ready for tomorrow as well, so that all that has to happen is put hot water on them and get them cooking. So here we go, all our carrots are done. Again, I was peeling straight into the compost pail to make the cleanup that much quicker and easier. Wipe my space again, and then we will get on to chopping up those carrots. Here we go. So just gonna chop them up into chunks, and I'm going to make brown sugar butter glazed carrots. I am by no means a professional cook or anything like that. I've just been learning to cook over the last 13 years for my family, and I enjoy doing things from scratch and saving money, being frugal this way, but also knowing what's going into my family's bellies. So I love to cook like this. It's important to me, and I just thought maybe others would enjoy seeing it. Now this carrot had grown funny, so it's got a little spot that I'm being careful around. It needs to be chopped off. So there we go, now I can cut it off. There, carrots are all chopped up. Now I'm going to get them in nice cold water too, so that they can sit in the fridge and, like I said, be ready to go into the pot for tomorrow. Again, clean up my workspace, make sure the sinks are washed. Everything is ready to go. I'll get some of my kiddos to take those compost pails out. That way they're cleared up and the house is cleaner for tomorrow. These are packages of corn that got done up in fall. They are fully mixed with whatever flavors that we want in there. It's a baked corn recipe, and after it's cooled, it just sits in the freezer. It is ready to go. It just has to be heated up tomorrow, but I'll let it thaw so that it doesn't have to cook as long and have as much prep work tomorrow. So now here I am on to making sweet and sour sauce. As I'm getting that ready, the sausage is done baking. Pull that out, and in another few minutes here the sauce will be ready. But first, that sausage needs to cool a little bit and then be chopped up and put in another casserole dish, because as I said, I don't want the sweet and sour sauce being thinned out by all that extra sausage fat and flavoring and whatever else that has come out of it. The sauce has thickened and is finished cooking, and also the sausage has cooled a bit so that I can work with it. I'm going to get that ready to go. So now here I wasn't sure, I didn't put that last plate of sausage in there because I wasn't sure if it was all going to fit. I decided to pour the sauce over first, and that way I would know if I needed this second casserole dish or not. But once I had the sauce all in, I saw that that little bit of sausage on the plate would definitely fit in here. So that's good because my oven's going to be full enough with this casserole dish of sausage and also that ham that we prepped first thing. Now that can cool a little bit longer before it goes into the fridge, and that casserole dish that was not used can go back in the cupboard. And of course, wipe that surface again so we're keeping things clean. Because the next thing we want to do is make pie. And again, like I said, we're making everything homemade and from scratch, so we're going to mix up our pie dough. To make this pie dough, we're also using our homemade, home-rendered lard. There we go, the lard is almost all cut in, so we can take this pastry cutter out of here, and we're ready for the final few ingredients that need to go into this pie dough. The recipe for this pie dough is on, or at least it used to be on, the Tender Flake box. That is the first recipe that I ever learned to use, and I have loved it. It freezes well, they have some good tips on the box, and I have also learned more tips over time just by doing. And so that is the recipe I follow. I really like it. Simple and easy, and it works well for me, and I've learned how to use it. And you can't even see just how much mixing I did there. I guess I cut out a lot more and you couldn't even tell. But I mixed that a lot more than just the 2 seconds that you saw. Of course, it never gets all fully mixed in the bowl, so the rest of it needs to get kneaded in or mixed together by hand. It's come together very nicely. It just needs to continue being worked until it all comes together. Now we can get some flour out so we can flour our surface and get to making those pie doughs or pie crusts. This is the pie dough, we want to make pie crusts. So this recipe makes enough dough for 6 open pies or 3 closed pies. I'm doing one of each here today, so you'll see what I mean. now we don't want to work the pie dough too much, just gently ease it in there and get it to fit, and then once that's done, it needs to be pricked with a fork. I possibly over prick it. I just don't want to have any bubbles coming up and pushing my filling out of the way. I want a nice full pie of whatever filling I'm putting in there. I don't want big pockets of dough or empty space. So not only do I prick the bottom, I prick all the way around the sides. I've had bubbles come from the sides as well and push the filling out, and I don't want that happening. First pie crust done, on to the second one. Alright, now this one's ready too. We can use that rolling pin trick again to get our pie dough into our pie plate. And again, we'll just gently ease it in there. We don't want to make it stretched. Stretched pie dough shrinks or has a higher tendency to shrink. So we want to not overwork it and not overstretch it. So there's the bottom half. Now we're going to work on making the top half. So this particular pie is going to be an apple pie. Again, we're going to make sure that it's well pricked. I'm going to set that aside while I get the apples ready. So again, these are home prepped apples. I did that in fall last year. And now I've put some flour over them, sugar, cinnamon, wow, homemade apple pie spice really. Give a piece to one of the kids to taste, and no, it needs a little more sugar and a little more apple pie spice. Give it a mix again, and then we'll dump that into our pie shell, and we want all of that juice and flavor. And again, I like a nice full pie, and we want all of that flavor, so we're going to scrape it all into there. Yum. Oh, I can just smell that apple pie all over again. Make a nice full pie, so we're going to really pack it in there so that we can get our top layer on. And another trick I've learned here is to wet the pie dough so that your top and bottom will stick together. It really sucks to have a pie go over in the oven and make a big sticky gooey mess that you have to clean out of your oven, and it also just sucks if it gets into your pie plate and makes the pie stick to the pie, or it also sucks if the sauce or syrup from your apple pie goes between your crust and your pie plate and makes your crust stick to your pie plate, because then as you're serving your pie, you're not going to get a nice piece. It's probably going to rip or wreck. And again, like I said, I am not a professional, so this pie is not going to look like something perfect that you get out of the store. Now I'm just going to cut some slits into the top of the pie, kind of like air vents, and just making it a little bit decorative. And also, because it's for company and everything, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of sugar over the top just to make it look fancy. Some of us like more pie dough and some of us don't, or pie crust, but this is a lot here. This is a little excessive, so I'll just trim some of it off and then smooth out those edges again. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that pie dough. It's still good dough, so we're not going to throw it out. There, that one's done. Now we need to get our next pie ready. As I said, the crust is done, but this one's going to be pumpkin, so it's going to be an open-faced pie, and we're going to get our pumpkin filling ready. So this is not sour cream, as you can see, it's orange. This is home canned pumpkin, also from last fall. We're gonna add that into there and keep getting the rest of our ingredients together here in the bowl. And this recipe also makes a very nice full pie. Now it's time to clean up again. Clean off my rolling pin and put it away, and then we can get the island cleaned off. But first, the oven is ready for these pies. You'll see this pan of eggshells here right in front of the camera. That's because we also have our own chickens for eggs, so we save the eggshells, dry them, and feed them back to the chickens because that helps them produce stronger eggshells on future eggs again. Now this part here for me personally felt a little wasteful. What I should have done is scraped up that flour earlier and added it into the pumpkin pie. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that flour. It was just used for rolling out pie dough. So I should have used it for the little bit of flour I needed in the pumpkin pie, but did not think of it. So ouch, that feels kind of wasteful. Last but not least, we're going to package up the leftover pieces of pie dough. We're going to flatten them into discs so that they will thaw quickly once we want to take them out of the freezer. Now that that's done, the island can have a wipe and our food prep is done. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to, and hit that notification bell if you want to see our future videos. Bye, guys.